Hello, friends. I'm Reena Mahajan. Welcome to English Oasis. Today, we are going to discuss the topic figures of speech. This is going to help you out in your creative writing as well as identifying figures of speech in various competitive exams and your examination papers. The first figure of speech is simile. So, whenever we compare two things with using like, as, or so, it is a simile. For example, King Richard was as brave as a lion. Life is like a canvas, as old as the hills. He rode like a bull, as tall as a tree. Your soul is like a star. So, wherever we are comparing two things, we are comparing life to a canvas, we are comparing lion to speed. So, that is a simile. Similes can be using adjectives as well as verbs. For adjectives, they can use the quality comparison, that is cool as a cucumber, sober as a judge, innocent as a baby, cunning as a fox. It can be using verbs also, like he runs like a deer, sits silent like a stone, sing like a lark. So, comparing two things using like and as is a simile. Next figure of speech is metaphor. When we compare two things which are quite near to whatever comparison is there, for example, but it is an implied comparison. For example, life is a dream. Camel is the ship of the desert. The way camel moves smoothly on sand, the ship moves on water. So we are comparing both things, but it is an implied comparison. We are not using like, as, or so. Therefore, it is a metaphor. Variety is the spice of life, right? So every comparison where we use like and as is a simile and we don't use like and as is a metaphor. Clear? The next figure of speech is personification. Whenever we give verbs which are used for living things to non-living things, it is a personification. Whenever we try to personify a dead object, for example, my pen danced on paper. So who can dance? Only a living thing can dance. But when I say my pen moved so smoothly, it was dancing on the paper. So it is personification. Similarly, laughter holds both her sides. Opportunity knocks at the door. So knock verb is given to something that is living. But here we says opportunity knocks at the door. The moon died with delight. I stared at the night and night stared at me. So this all is personification whenever we give a living verb to a non-living thing, right? The next figure of speech is allegory. Allegory is a story in the form of a poem, right? It can be any story which is told in the form of poetry,